Alright, what's going on, guys? We're back again. Another video up on the channel, and today we are back on the Dragon Ball Legends video, and today we're going to be doing a brand new LF tier list for the month of November. So last time I did this was obviously for the month of October, so last month. At the time that the newest release was LF Cell. It's already been over a month since Cell has been out, so it's crazy to think about. Time definitely does fly, but we are here with two new additions to the list, being obviously the brand new Sword of Hope Trunks and the Goku and Vegeta exchange tag unit, duo unit, whatever you want to call them. So there's that. So in terms of the tier list, I'm probably going to actually try and go a bit quicker with this one compared to last time, because last time ended up being almost like a hour-long video and all that, and now this time we have two more units to add on to that list, so I'm definitely going to try and go quicker. There's definitely going to be a lot of units that are probably going to be staying in the same spot as that list. I actually have the previous list I made pulled up right here, so just before we start the video and all that stuff, this is the tier list I made for last month, so there's that. But anyways, real quick before we fully dive in and all that stuff, remember that this is an opinionated tier list, so obviously this, nothing I'm saying is actual facts. All right, just keep in mind this is personally my opinion, my takes on these units. Not everyone's gonna agree. There's that. That being said, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. If you do, make sure to down below and also sub to the channel notification bell to never miss out on upload on the road to 100 subs by the end of the year. We have face reveals, ton of new funny videos, you know, all that stuff planned for 100 subs, so definitely looking forward to hitting that by the end of the year. I know we can do it. I believe in you guys. Anyways, let us hop into this tier list. Let's waste no more time. So let's take a look at this tier list right here. So this is the tier list I made for last month. So pretty much a lot of the stuff is probably gonna be staying the same. More so, I will say probably the bottom half of the tier list. Obviously, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, I made this tier list before he got his platinum equipment, so obviously he's gonna go up, duh. But there's definitely gonna be quite a few units that are probably gonna be staying at around the same place. So I'm probably gonna just briefly talk about units, or I might not even really talk about them. Like for instance, actually I was gonna go out of order, but I'll just go in order in terms of what the units are actually, I think. So I'll kind of quick fire a few. Cell, if we check this tier list, I did have in Z tier. Cell is definitely very good, but I do think he is probably, I think maybe even I was kind of, I will be honest, maybe I did overrate him a little bit. He's definitely very, very good, but I feel like he's definitely, I don't feel like he's Z tier worthy, especially right now. I feel like he's probably fine in SS tier. At least like top of SS tier, like close to Z. He's definitely very good for sure, but I think the main thing about him is he can definitely do really good damage, especially against Saiyans and hybrids, but definitely against non-Saiyan or hybrid Saiyan matchups, his damage is fine for sure. He can definitely do solid damage still, but definitely it isn't like as crazy. And also his tanking is definitely not the absolute craziest and all this stuff, but regardless, he's definitely a very good unit, definitely worthy of being like at the very top of this tier list for sure. So I think SS tier is a more fitting place for him, at least for this edition of the tier list compared to last time. So there's that. Vegito Blue is pretty much just going to stay in the same place he was in the last tier list, which is A tier. Nothing really changes with him. He's still solid, but he's aged. He definitely needs a platinum equipment if they ever plan to give him one, so there's that. He's just in A tier. FSK is obviously in Z tier. He's really good, like, and all that stuff, you know. I've definitely come to realize that he's definitely like not the best unit in the game for sure, as a lot of people make him out to be. He's definitely quite reliant on allies in terms of like support and all that stuff, so for him to be like at his peak and all that. So I mean, obviously without support he can still be good, but he's definitely not like the insane monster, you know, that everyone like makes him out to be and all that stuff when you know, pair him up with units, I don't know, like future Gohan and stuff. So there's that, but definitely still worthy of being Z tier for sure. But I definitely don't think he's the best unit in the game. Even in the previous tier list, you even see I had Revival Gohan above him, and I still do think that as well. So there's that. Next, we have Full Power Frieza. Full Power Frieza I haven't really used. Even in the previous tier list, he's not a unit I really use that much, but I do know he's very good, especially, you know, obviously I used him when he first initially came out. I tested him out quite a bit. I've seen videos of him. I even fought against him a decent bit, so I know he's very good. So I do believe he's actually S tier. He's definitely very Very, very good. And also, he finally came back for the first time on a banner, so that's definitely going to help him out quite a bit because more people are going to have access to him, especially since the new banners, you know, you get triple the Z power, so you can get stars easily on him. I was actually hoping to pull a copy of him. I've done a couple more summons on the Goku Vegeta banner, but I haven't really gotten anything. The only noteworthy thing I've gotten is I've just gotten Beerus to 14 stars, which is cool, I guess, but who cares? But full power Frieza definitely would be nice to play at least one more copy of, and then at that point I could probably use a little bit more, but definitely he's very good. So there's that. Okay, here we have one of the bigger changes to the tier list. So obviously in the previous tier list, remember, this tier list right here was made before Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta got his platinum equipment, so obviously that's why he's in A tier in this tier list. So that was actually rank him with his platinum equipment and all that stuff. So Gogeta is definitely way better than what he was before the platinum equipment, obviously. Like before his platinum equipment, I definitely wouldn't have said he was like trash or anything. He was definitely not the craziest. Like he was okay, he was good, but not anything crazy. Now definitely with his platinum equipment, it basically just fixes him. Like he does amazing damage. Tanking, definitely maybe at times, especially without the 80% damage reduction, can still maybe be a little lackluster, especially for a defense type unit. He honestly feels more like an offensive type unit. I feel like they should have just made him like a melee type unit, to be honest. That way is like, especially his offensive stats wouldn't have been like gimped or whatever, but it is what it is. Regardless, he can do very good damage, you know, he can be pretty tanky and all stuff, like being able, like, he's just very good. He's just very good. Also, his anti-revive mechanic is very good because now it's way better, because before all it would do is you would just, like, you cause a character to revive, he gets 2 Dragon Balls and he heals 20% HP, which is okay, but it's nothing really to write home about. Now he gets 4 Dragon Balls and he's healing 20% HP, and also if you happen to get the last slot in his equipment to a perfect roll, you can get 50% extra damage, which is definitely quite nice, as well as obviously you can go type neutral, like multiple different ways and all stuff. I finally know how that ability, like, he has of like going type neutral. Apparently he goes type neutral when he cover changes and all stuff up to like 4 times, so I finally understand that part of his kit. It took me forever to fully understand that, but there's that. But Gogeta is definitely very, very good. So where do I think he placed on this tier list compared to last time? I think he's right here. I do think he's Z tier. I definitely do think he's Z tier. He's so good and he's so valuable. Like, I definitely do think he's better than FSK. Like, you know, he's literally already at like his peak damage and all this stuff, like at the start of a battle, while Gohan, he definitely has to build up to it and all this stuff. He can be quite tanky. Like, overall, I do think Gogeta is better than FSK. So there's that. That's all I'm gonna say. Like I said, I don't want to take too much time on this tier list video, especially since also I've been up all night and I just kind of want to go to bed. So there's that. Anyways, Future Gohan is up next. So Future Gohan, obviously I had in Z tier last time, therefore he's going to be Z tier again. Now I was kind of thinking about this. Do I want to place Future Gohan above FSK? Where did I have him at last time? I had him at below. Z tier is definitely going to change up quite a bit this time around compared to the last tier list. I'm very tempted to put him above FSK. Like, I'm very tempted to do this for now, because Future Gohan is like really, really good. Like, he can do solid damage. Tanking can be pretty solid. You know, he has like a ton of disruption with like sealing cards, destroying cards when he cover changes. He has endurance. Like, he's providing support for his team. He's doing like literally everything. He's doing so much. He can be a last man standing unit. He can go type neutral. Like, what more do you want from him, actually? Like, he's doing like practically everything. Like, he's just so valuable to have. Like, I feel like he's providing more to the team than this dude. Like, honestly, this dude is part of the reason why this dude, especially on hybrids, is so like dominant and all this stuff. Probably because of this guy, and partly because of Revival Gohan as well, with his support buffs. But definitely Future Gohan, I feel like, contributes way more heavily. I'm gonna keep it like this for now. I might change. Definitely, obviously, you know, the second I place a unit in the tier list doesn't mean I'm not gonna change your spot. I might definitely come back and change a couple things as I go, but I think I do like this so far. I don't know. All right, anyways, Majin Vegeta, my boy. Okay, so I was actually thinking about this quite heavily before the started this video. So Majin Vegeta last time was an A tier. He's still A tier. I'm definitely not moving him up, right? As much as I love my boy Majin Vegeta, I definitely gotta know my boy's limits, of course, and I gotta understand the fact that a lot of other units are just straight up better, all right? It's facts, all right? But I was thinking, is Majin Vegeta better than Vegito Blue? Like, you can definitely make a case, honestly, he probably is. It's close, because Majin Vegeta, he can do, like, especially post-transformed, he can still do really good damage. I've seen my Majin Vegeta, even against, like, units like LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku, still do really solid damage. Tanking can be pretty decent, mainly because of his high stats and all stuff. His green, I definitely do think Majin Vegeta easily has a better green card for sure. He has like one of those AoE knockback green cards that gives him ki. He gets a guaranteed card as well, so it's definitely very good. He can nullify special cover changes upon activating his main ability. His blue card has blast armor, nullifies endurance, hits freaking mega hard as well, especially after popping his main. Vegito Blue definitely has a really good blue card for sure with the lock-in and all stuff. It get hit pretty hard as well. His green card's okay. It's just like one of those lunging forward green cards that does cancel enemy buffs, but I don't really go crazy over it. It's stupid also that he doesn't have blast armor on that green card. He can nullify special cover changes, but it's only on his ultimate. His ultimate can definitely still hit pretty hard. I guess that kind of somewhat gives him an advantage that he has an ultimate and Majin Vegeta doesn't, but I don't really think it's like... I don't know. It's definitely close. I'm very tempted. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. This is close. Because last time when I had Vegito Blue, yeah, above Majin Vegeta. Vegito Blue does have that strike drawing ability though, but I feel like I'll leave it at this for now, just because at least Vegito Blue has value on fusions. Because I do think he might probably be the best blue on fusions. Majin Vegeta doesn't have I don't feel like he doesn't really have a team that he's just straight up the best blue unit for. Because before, you know, Sword of Hope Trunks came out, I would have definitely said, at least me personally, I felt like Majin Vegeta was the best blue for Vegeta Clan. Now that Sword of Hope Trunks is a thing, I feel like obviously he's way better. So now Majin Vegeta, yet again, he's been replaced on another one of his main teams. So Vegito Blue, he's been replaced on his main teams, you know, like he's been replaced by Trunks on Future. God Key, you have Zenkai Blue Goku, I think is just a better fit for the team. What other team? I don't know. Fusions, however, you do have the Zenkai Blue Gogeta. It's definitely very good. I do think he's a little bit better than people give him credit for, but I feel like, especially since Super Vegito is actually gonna get a Zenkai, I feel like, I don't know. I'm gonna leave it at this for now. I've definitely rambled on way too much about these two. I'm gonna leave it like this, but Majin Vegeta, both of these characters are very good for sure. But okay, Piccolo. So Piccolo last time was an SS tier. I'm definitely gonna drop him down because regen is definitely very good, but especially since regen is honestly like more strike oriented at this point, definitely the better version of regen is more strike based. Piccolo is definitely I don't know, he's definitely still very good, so I'm gonna move him down to S tier. I think I might actually do this. I do think Frieza, especially at high stars, is probably better than Piccolo, at least a little bit, maybe, I don't know. But Piccolo is definitely very good and all that stuff. He can tank pretty well, he can do good damage, he can get his vanish back when he transforms and all that stuff. Like, he kind of supports a little bit, but it's not really anything crazy. He's just very good overall for regen and all that stuff. So there's that. It's all Saiyan Saga, which Saiyan Saga is definitely a solid team, but it's not really anything like super crazy for sure. Kid Buu as well is also going to move down. I think I might actually do this. I'm going to do this. Yeah, Kid Buu again can do really good damage. You know, he technically has like infinite vanish or whatever. With his green card and stuff, he can heal a ton, he can get card draw speed. Like, definitely in the right situation, if you know how to play with Kid Buu, he can definitely look very good, but he can, there also can be times he's not really going to look super crazy, especially if he gets hit a lot and he happens to die, because he's definitely not very tanky, especially at lower stars and all that stuff. And also I feel like he's obviously very blast based, and obviously, like I said earlier, regen's more strike based. He can still work well on a strike-based regen team, but obviously he's not going to fit the absolute craziest. So it's kind of one thing that kind of annoys me a little bit. I definitely would like regen to get a new blue unit that's more strike-based. So I don't know, whatever. Kid Buu is definitely very good, but he's an S tier, whatever. Like I said, I just don't want to waste too much time. Okay, Revival Gohan. So Revival Gohan, last time I had in Z tier as the #1 unit in the game on the previous tier list, obviously. I think Gohan is #2 on this list. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta I do think is better. The reason why I think that is because Gohan definitely, obviously, you know, we've got a lot of anti-revival units. Literally the 2 new LFs that we're going to be talking about later both have anti-revival mechanics. So Trunks is definitely solid, but it's not anything crazy. It's literally just like 8 Vegetas. But still, he has an anti-revive mechanic, and also then Goku and Vegeta is actually pretty good. So it's like we're getting a lot of anti-revive units, like Cell as well. And I feel like if you're bringing Revival Gohan and he happens to get KO'd by one of those anti-revive characters, he's honestly hurting your team quite a bit more than he's helping it out. He's definitely still very good and has value for sure, but I feel like because of the fact that we've been seeing a lot of anti-revive characters lately, I feel like he's definitely starting to lose a little bit of his value. So I feel like that maybe causes him to drop a tiny bit. And I feel like Gogeta, especially at the start of a match and all stuff, I feel like he's just providing you more, maybe? I don't know. I'm gonna leave it like this. I feel like Gogeta is better with his platinum equipment for sure. Gohan's definitely very good, but I definitely think he's starting to become somewhat of a liability, somewhat, and all stuff. So there's that. Definitely he's still very good though, for sure. There's that. Gogeta Blue is going to be an S tier, so Gogeta Blue is definitely still very good. Definitely has a little bit more value because God Key is definitely quite a bit better now, this recent update, because of the Goku and Vegeta. God Key, I'll definitely say Gogeta Blue definitely works pretty well actually with Goku and Vegeta. I'm gonna leave it like this for sure. Definitely Gogeta Blue is very good for sure. Definitely is aged really well, but then again, he has been out for a while and definitely is starting to age a little bit for sure. Maybe he can be a little reliant on support, but definitely even without support, he's definitely still very good. He's held up very well. You know, nullifying special cover changes. He can do good damage, especially once you stack him up and build up his damage. He can definitely do very good damage. Tanking can be okay. He does heal quite a bit, which is nice. You know, his green card counter, if you're able to land it, is super oppressive. His ultimate can hit hard. Like, he's overall just a very good unit. So I'm pretty much just gonna place him pretty much exactly where he was last time. I feel like nothing has really changed with him, to be honest. So there's that. All right, next Goten, we're gonna put an A tier. Again, he's very good, but Revival Gohan exists, and I still do think, I mean, maybe you can make a case honestly that Goten might have a bit more value at this point, since at least he's not really being a massive liability to your team, because, you know, if you're fighting against an anti-revive character and Goten dies, guess what? They're not going to be able to make use of their anti-revive mechanic because he doesn't have a revive. But then again, I don't know. Goten's definitely very good. Definitely, like, he himself as a unit is honestly probably worthy of being somewhere here at the very least, but because of the fact that Revival Gohan exists and he's just easily better, and Goten's more so reserved for bench, I'm just gonna put him here. But Goten's definitely very good. Blue Vegeta, I did my video recently on him. Definitely he needs a Zenkai, but he can still hold his own somewhat. Honestly, I feel like with the Zenkai, the main thing he really needs is just stats, I feel like. Because stats and then like minor changes to his current kit, like, you know, more like higher buffs and all that stuff in his kit. And honestly, he's already looking pretty good. So he mainly just needs stats, and I feel like that's really, and same thing with Super Vegito. So there's that. 8 Vegeta is going to be an SS tier. 8 Vegeta, I wish I had 8 Vegeta higher stars, man. I really wish I did get more lucky on his banner, just because he is so good, man. Definitely, he has so much utility with his green card, AoE knockback, you know, getting that blue card, lowering his own sub count. He, like, can combo for a while as well, getting key on every card, you know, getting that guaranteed strike card when you use the first strike card and all stuff. Like, he's definitely very good. Endurance as well, he has endurance. He also does have an anti-revive mechanic, but it's definitely not the craziest. He makes it so, a character that has revival revives with 30% less HP, which is definitely solid, but again, it's definitely not on the level of like LF cells, which is causing the enemy to lose 4 Dragon Balls and all their key and key recovery and all that stuff. Gogeta's giving him 4 Dragon Balls, healing him and potentially getting more damage and stuff. So 8 Vegeta is definitely very, very good though, for sure. Definitely worthy of being in SS tier. UI Goku is definitely like, he's definitely aged for sure. I definitely do agree that he's aged, but I definitely don't think he's as bad as a lot of other people say. I definitely don't think he's obviously the craziest anymore. I agree, obviously he definitely obviously has aged. He's literally a year old, of course, but I still think he's solid. He's fun to use and all stuff, but definitely I think I will actually lower him a decent bit, because in the previous tier list I had him, I think, above Vegito Blue and Majin Vegeta. Honestly, I feel like he actually is probably below them, even Majin Vegeta. I do think Majin Vegeta honestly is, at this point, definitely has aged better than UI Goku for sure. So I'm gonna do it like this. Yeah, UI Goku, he can do decent damage at times. Tanking obviously is not great at all. The dodge mechanic of his is definitely very good still, but you know, removing buffs on his main ability is definitely good. AoE knockback green card, but overall it's just, he's aged. He's definitely aged for sure. He definitely needs a plat equip. That's the main thing that would help him. I definitely don't think he needs a Zenkai, at least right now. I don't know, we'll see. All right, Krepta Zamasu, I believe last time I had an S tier, and I believe I had him behind Gogeta Blue. I think I'm gonna do this. I think I'm actually gonna move Krepta Zamasu because he's definitely gotten more valuable since last time I did this tier list, because of the fact that now Future got a ton of buffs, and obviously Future's heavily strike based. He's your best red unit for that team. Also, God Key's gotten better, being their best red unit and all this stuff. Zamasu is definitely very, very, very good. I've definitely been using him quite a bit recently, and it's just reminding me of just how insane this dude can be. Like, he can do really good damage, especially once you like build him up and stuff. He definitely isn't the tankiest, but if you have him at higher stars, and if you like build him like more defensive with his equip setup and all this stuff, he can definitely actually tank decently well, surprisingly. He's definitely not like the most like glass cannon-y unit ever for sure. His green cards are really good and all stuff. Like, he has so much disruption. Like, he's definitely very impressive for sure, and just overall very good. So I do think he definitely moves up a little bit, at least over Gogeta Blue compared to last time. So there's that. All right, LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku is obviously Z tier. I'll do this. Do I do that? Yeah, I'll do that. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I definitely think is he's super good. Like, he can do good damage. He can tank like really well, especially if you build them like correctly with his equips and all that stuff. Like, he has a special cover rescue. He's just very good. That's all I gotta say. They definitely made him very good. Like, I remember when he initially got Zenkai, like, he was definitely very good even then, but definitely I remember like some people are definitely not going super crazy over him, but definitely as time has gone on, it's definitely a lot more noticeable and just how crazy this dude is. Like, this dude's just so oppressive for sure. Now, maybe you can make a case, honestly, you could definitely talk me into doing this, but for now I'll just leave like this. I think Gogeta probably is quite a bit more valuable at the moment. So Super Saiyan 3 Goku can go type neutral as well. Only once though, but while Gogeta can go type neutral up to 4 times, but I don't even know if it really matters. I don't know. I'm gonna keep it like that for now. LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku I definitely do think is better than all these other characters as well. I think he's just too good personally, so there's that. Beerus we're gonna put at the top of B. Obviously God Key did get a buff and all that stuff, but he's just aged at this point. Like, he literally got a Zenkai like 2 years ago. Damn, 2 years ago. Wow. Damn, it's been a while. Oh my gosh. I mean, honestly, for 2 years old having a Zenkai, he's definitely not bad, but he's definitely aged for sure. Nothing really else to talk about him. Evolution Blue Vegeta I think is honestly here. I think he definitely moves up a decent bit because God Key got a buff, Vegeta Clan got a buff as well. Like, he himself, honestly, like, if we were ranking like this tier list in terms of like units individually and not based off like the current meta and like teams and all stuff, he would honestly probably be in Z tier. Like, he would probably be like top 3, top 5 best unit in the game overall, especially like if you're ranking everyone like even star level and all that stuff. He is super good. Like, once you get him like going in a match, like where he's getting like below that 35 like key threshold, and he's just drawing cards and he's stacking up those damage buffs and getting a ton of key and all that stuff, like, he goes crazy. He goes bonkers. Like, he is just so good. Like, tanking definitely is, you know, for a unit that was supposedly advertised as having near flawless defenses, definitely is nowhere near flawless. But it's okay. It's okay. And all stuff. He does have an anti-revive mechanic where he goes type neutral for like 30 counts and he destroys 2 enemy Dragon Balls. Definitely one of the better anti-revive mechanics in the game for sure. Blue card can go type neutral, so he can even do good damage against reds. Like, heals with his green card, gets a guaranteed card draw. Like, has a cover change against blast, and he guaranteed draws a blue card on cover change. He's just so good. He's just so good. And obviously, like I said, some of his main teams have got buffed, so therefore I do feel he deserves to be at the top of SS. Finally, we get to one of the new units. All right, Goku and Vegeta. I feel like it should be pretty obvious where I place them on this tier list. There's E tier, number 1. I do agree that Goku and Vegeta are the best unit in the game overall. I do believe that. They are just crazy. They do so much. The fact that they can like reverse their like element factors on switch out, or like whenever they tag in and out between the two characters, they have so many ways of like getting card, like they constantly get card draw speed as well every time they switch. They heal. They have so much sustainability with their healing every time they swap out, and as they combo as well. Their green cards giving them a blue card guaranteed for the first time. Nullify endurance, having blast armor, like they do really good damage, especially the Vegeta. Vegeta definitely, like if you get him going as well, he definitely does really good damage. Also the fact that Vegeta's green card nullifies special cover changes. Goku's blue card's insane because he gets 70% of his vanish gauge like on activation, so you can literally just even throw out the blue card and miss it and potentially get your vanish back, and you can dodge an attack immediately after. Like, that is crazy, especially since it is a quick animation. They are just insane. Like, they are just insane, man. Like, I don't know what else you want me to say about the character. They do so much. Like, that's all it is. Now, granted, yes, I know people have brought this up quite a bit. The fact that they are being affected by the boost system right now. The brand new boost system implemented in PvP. They are a featured character, which means they're getting, I believe, 20% extra damage inflicted and 15% to defenses, as well as Sword of Hope Trunks is getting this, as well as all the other new characters that just came out. So a lot of people are, you definitely need to keep that in mind for sure. Definitely, once they're not in that featured like tier of the boost system, they might look a little bit worse than what they are now. But honestly, I feel like even without the boost system, I feel like at the very bare minimum, they're like somewhere probably in the top 3, or at the very least, they're somewhere in Z tier. They're still Z tier worthy regardless. But I definitely at the current moment, we'll definitely, once they're out of the boost system and all this stuff, and they're not being affected by it, we'll definitely take a look at them again and all this stuff to see exactly how they were affected by it and see if it was really affecting them that much and all this stuff. But we'll definitely take a look at that. But at least at the current moment, I just feel like they're too good. Like they're so good, man. They're so fun to use as well. Like, this is just a very well designed unit. That's all I gotta say. So I do believe they are the number 1 unit in the game. So there's that. LF First Form Frieza, it's definitely very good. I haven't really played with him at all, so I can't really say much about him. But the main places I've seen like him perform is from like showcase videos and all that stuff, as well as like fighting him a couple times. He's definitely very good. He can do solid damage, definitely quite a bit more damage than what he used to do pre-Zenkai. He can definitely tank pretty well. He's providing support for his team. He holds a blue card in his hand. Like, he's just a very valuable unit. He is the backbone of Lineage of Evil for sure. Now, Lineage of Evil is definitely a solid. It's just a solid team. It's definitely not crazy, but it's okay. They definitely need a couple more units still, but he's definitely very good. And I mean, you know, he works on powerful opponent. Also, Frieza Force is definitely I feel like a sleeper team. He's definitely very, very good on there, so I think he does deserve to be an S tier for sure. LF Broly, I think I might do this. I definitely will do that, yeah. I will definitely do that, yeah. Broly's definitely very good still. He's definitely aged for sure. I definitely do think Gogeta's aged better than Broly, easily, hands down. Bro is definitely not bad. Definitely in certain situations. I've played with him recently off of Super Saiyans. All right, on Super Saiyans, obviously he's gonna look, you know, really good if situations right for him. And he's critting like crazy with quintuple Zenkai buffs and all that stuff. Crits going everywhere. Like obviously he's gonna look crazy like on that team. But I've been running him off of Super Saiyans because I don't really run Super Saiyans at all. He's definitely still very good. Definitely has age, and definitely he does take a little bit of ramp up in order for him to start getting like really crazy. But definitely is still very good for sure. He's just an A tier. He's solid for sure, but definitely aged for sure. Super Vegito is still the worst unit on here, but he will be getting a Zenkai. Either his Zenkai is going to be coming this week at the time of recording this, or it'll be coming in like 2 weeks from now. We'll see. I'm assuming there's definitely a decent chance his Zenkai could be this week. I don't know. We'll see. But definitely when he gets a Zenkai, I'm assuming he's probably going to shoot up. At least I'm hoping for somewhere like at least in S tier, maybe like here, or heck, maybe even up in Z tier. You never know. Maybe up there. I don't know about that, but for now, obviously, pre-Zenkai, he's definitely the worst unit on the whole tier list, so there's that. Alright, Sword of Hope Trunks is next, finally. Sword of Hope Trunks is definitely very good. I will say, though, I've definitely played with him much less than Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta, I feel like I've played with, like, I don't know, 100 times more than Trunks or something. I don't know, I've played with him way too much. Like, yeah, Trunks I'd play with a decent bit though, for sure. Definitely at least enough to like give at least a decent judgment of the character, a proper rating for the character. I don't know, or like at least a solid rating. I don't know. Trunks is definitely very good for sure. He can definitely do good damage. He can actually tank pretty well, especially if you build him like to be like more defensive and stuff. He can be a really good last man standing. You know, his ultimate hits hard, especially last man standing. The fact that he can go type neutral with his ultimate is just insane. Like nullifying endurance and all this stuff. Like he is just crazy. Yeah, he does have an anti-revive mechanic, which is the exact same as Ape Vegeta's, being the fact that he causes revival characters to revive with 30% less HP. So again, it's nothing too crazy or absurd, but it's nice to have regardless. He does have his unique gauge, which obviously once you build it up, the way he builds it up is by taking hits. So it does help that he can be pretty tanky and all stuff. And once you fill it up, he obviously, you know, I believe he heals himself. He gives himself obviously more damage and the buffs and all that stuff. He also lowers enemy ki, which is definitely, I feel like, an effect that a lot of people are going to forget and all stuff, and it's definitely annoyed me quite a bit when I'm comboing Trunks and his gauge fills up like mid combo and I lose like almost all my ki and I just can't continue the combo anymore. Like that's definitely annoyed me quite a bit when fighting him, as well as I've actually made use of that to my advantage whenever I do use him as well at times. So it's definitely like Trunks overall is just very good. His green card as well is also pretty good because it gives him like a whole new hand, you know, fills up a portion of his gauge and all that stuff. I do wish it gave him a little bit of ki though. Oh yeah, he also has a strike cover change, which is definitely very good, as well as he can combo off with a blue card. Also, that I forgot to mention in Goku and Vegeta, they have both types of cover changes. Like Goku has a blast cover, Vegeta has a strike cover change. You can combo off with a blue card. Like that's just something else to add more to their crazy kit and all this stuff, and another reason on why they're number one. So there's that. But Trunks, he's definitely a Z tier for sure, but I think he's honestly probably somewhere either, for me, mainly between maybe in like this range, maybe here, or maybe here. I'm gonna put him here. I think I'm gonna put him there. Trunks is very good for sure, but I feel like Revival Gohan is still at least a little bit better and all that stuff. Trunks has endurance though. He does have endurance, so that's something I forgot to mention. Now granted, he only has the endurance if you're running him specifically on Future or Vegeta Clan. So if you're running on hybrids or any other like random team, he's not gonna have endurance. So you do have to keep that in mind, but that's definitely something to keep in mind, as well as when he does pop his endurance, he does fully fill up his unique gauge. So that's definitely something to take into consideration. So maybe now I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this for now. Again, I've played with Trunks a decent bit, but I've also not played with him like the absolute craziest. Definitely nowhere near as much as this character. So definitely I still need a bit more time with Trunks. Maybe the more I play with him, my opinion might change on him, and you know, maybe I might end up liking him more, moving him up higher. But for now, I think this is a fair rating for him, at least currently. So there's that. Next we have LF Rose, who I feel like he's gonna stay in the same place he was last time. He's definitely very good for sure. On the Game Press tier list, I actually didn't even talk about this when I was going over that tier list, but Rose on that tier list was tier 2. I somewhat understand why, obviously, because Cell exists, and at least on the Game Press tier list, they value Cell more than Rose on Future, and they believe Cell is the optimal purple unit to run on that team, at least on Strike Future. But that doesn't mean, like, I feel like Rose should still be higher. I feel like Rose is definitely very good for sure. You know, with the extreme bleed and all stuff, he can definitely do quite a bit of damage over time as the enemy bleeds. Just his damage as well, just as like while he's comboing, is definitely pretty solid. His blue card going type neutral, and it's an AoE attack. He can potentially destroy Dragon Balls. Like, he nullifies endurance just straight up, which gives him a lot of value. Since we literally, like, two of the units in Z tier, 2 of the best units in the game have endurance. So the fact that Rose can just straight up nullify endurance at all times is just very nice to have for sure. Rose, I think, is just very, very, very good. He's just very good, but definitely, I like, even though God Key and Future have definitely gotten buffed, I don't think he really moves anywhere. He's just pretty much going to stay in the same place he was last time. So there's that. Namagoku, same thing. Namagoku is definitely very good for sure, but again, like I said last time, it depends on the player. You could be a really good player with him, and he could also feel like up somewhere in here, even up in Z tier. Heck, he can maybe even feel like the best unit in the game to you. But for me personally, he's definitely very good for sure. I definitely don't know how to play with him the absolute best, but I can play with him decently well. I don't know. I definitely don't consider myself the best Namagoku player, obviously, but I definitely don't backfloat with him. And there's definitely a lot of people that just literally they just sit in the back and just chill there with Namagoku, just trying to get that blue card off and just trying to get PVs and stuff. Like, that's definitely not the correct way to play with him. You just probably want to play with him more like casual, just more how you would normally play and all stuff. I don't know. Namagoku definitely requires a specific like skill set to really understand like how to play him and all stuff. But regardless, Namagoku is definitely very good. But again, he's gonna stay in the same place he was last time. So there's that. But this is my updated tier list for November. Currently, I definitely will be doing another one for December for whatever units we potentially get for part 2 of Legends Festival and all stuff. Obviously, you know, Super Vegito by then should have his Zenkai, so he should definitely, you know, see quite a bit of a jump, hopefully, in terms of where he's going to be ranked. So there's that. So yeah, I'm just kind of taking a quick look through the tier list. I think honestly the tier list is fine. I think it's fine. I don't know. I could definitely come back and maybe change a couple things, you know, over time and stuff. But yeah, there's that. Again, remember, this is an opinionated tier list. None of this is like actual like facts, all right? You don't have to agree with it. If you guys want to, you can kind of discuss things in the comments, whether or not you potentially agree with some of these choices or you disagree, maybe your own takes on stuff. I don't know, have a bit of a discussion in the comment section. That definitely would be nice. But there's that. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, make sure to check down below and also sub to the channel, notification bell to never miss out on upload. We're on the road to 100 subs by the end of the year, so hopefully we can hit that. Also follow my Twitter, link down below at Coordinate 3, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a great one, y'all.